on what you think would need to happen for female Paralympic athletes to be heard from and seen more on a more mainstream level, and not only as athletes, but also as journalists that have physical limitations or other limitations. What do you think needs to be done in order for there to be more visibility?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, the reality is, as a journalist, I just think about myself and what I can do. I need to be thinking about what stories I'm not paying attention to that are exceptional stories. And my goal as a writer has always been just to tell stories that I think are compelling and inspiring or interesting or important to tell. The challenge sometimes can be with finding the audience for those stories. And then there's the issue of making sure that those stories are going to be worth the, and I hate to be callous about it, sort of worth the amount of time and effort put into it in return for clicks or stuff online, that kind of stuff, which I hate that part of this whole industry, because the reality should be we should go out and just find the best stories possible. I think seeking out stories like that and finding ways to tell them in a compelling manner is sort of incumbent on journalists like myself and editors to be searching for, and for platforms to make space for those stories is key. We can't just be talking about the Raptors game. We can't just be talking about the Leafs. We have to be talking about the wide range of athletics and the great stories that come in. And I think that, to go back to sort of something I hinted at before, that like we benefit from this as well. The great stories engage an audience, but they have to be given the opportunity to reach an audience for people to know about them. Right. So for us to just ignore them because, like, it's for me to say, as I said a second ago, oh well, the issue is clicks and whether people will read them or not. Really, what should happen is we should go out and take risks, quote unquote risks, to write stories that aren't necessarily automatic, 100,000 clicks and doing incredibly well, but are just really good stories that can connect with people and then get passed around and grow. And even if you don't have that sort of, I think, somewhat one-dimensional perspective on the success of a story, there's still value in telling that story. And I know that we do many of those stories at The Athletic. I've been able to do several stories, not necessarily speaking about women's athletics. I mean, and people and Olympians with disabilities. I mean, this is something that is an area where absolutely people are being ignored and need to have more opportunities to be written about. So it's something that I think I need to think about a lot more and challenge myself on, and we need to be asking questions about why certain people aren't being represented.